see how fast he is.
Fought 7 times as an amateur, 2 times as a professional. Won all my fights by knockout, and I'm deciding to walk away from it all. This is something that some people might feel disappointed in at first, but then they're going to realize that this is my life and I know exactly what the fuck I'm doing. And maybe they should stop asking, hey, when are you going to fight again? Why are you doing this? And they should ask, what do you genuinely feel is best for your life? Because the more that I've gotten honest about that question, that's what's allowed me to make this decision. This is the most aligned that I've ever felt in my life. So just want you guys to know that nobody knows what's best for your life other than you. Just listen to your own voice, drown out the noise of the world, and watch what happens for your life, guys. It's crazy because fighting gave me so much. It gave me so much. It gave me everything that I have, everything that I am, and it's time to walk away. So I wanted to take you guys back to where it all started and what it gave me, and give you guys the real reason why I'm doing this.
Cage. Yeah, congratulations.
Not going to impair his vision directly.
So again, I fought 9 times, won all my fights by knockout. Most people see me as a striker, and I am, but what most people don't know is that my first few years of development as a fighter was as a grappler. The first practice that I ever went to was a wrestling practice when I was 10 years old, and I did a season of wrestling. I went on to do 3 years of mostly jiu-jitsu, a little bit of boxing, a little bit of Muay Thai, but striking was always like the shiny object that I wanted to play with, but I didn't because I just listened to what my dad told me to do. And at the time, I was training at Alliance Training Center in San Diego, California, which was one of the most poppin' MMA gyms in America. Alexander Gustafsson was there training to fight John Jones. Dominic Cruz was the champ. Michael Chandler was also there. A lot of ranked UFC guys, and to be around that at such a young age was motivating and inspiring, and part of the reason why it lit such a fire under my soul. But just fighting in itself excited me more than the other sports I played, because I played baseball, I played soccer, football. When you win, it's a team sport. My team beat yours, whatever. And fighting, when you beat someone, you literally beat the shit out of them, which is obvious why it excited me even more. And I just knew that I could do it. I just knew that my body was built for it because of my athletic capabilities and what I was able to do in other sports. And I knew that from a young age. And it's just crazy that I think about how much fighting gave to me. It gave me my sense of confidence. It gave me my sense of self-worth and self-belief, the ability to push through hard things every single day, which you don't have a choice because you know you're going to fight and everything's going to show up in the cage, the work that you put in. So you can't risk it. You have to show up. You have to push through things. You have to be consistent. You have to remain calm on times of adversity. And that's the measure of what makes a man, how he responds to times of adversity. So fighting was, again, what made me. You guys know that your whole entire life is a reflection of how you see yourself. And that's what fighting did for me. It gave me the ability to wake up every day and look in the mirror and be like, you're a fucking G, you know? And it's not like my sense of confidence grew after one fight, right? You knock someone out, it's not like I was automatically more confident right after that. But after day after day after day of every day when you wake up, you have that first moment when you look in the mirror. And how do you speak to yourself? Every day when I look in the mirror, I'm like, dude, you're a fucking G. And day after day of that adding up. And then I win another fight and I knock another guy out, and again and again. And then it's so ingrained in your brain that you just feel so fucking good about yourself. So I want you guys to feel that. But unless you guys go and fight and knock everyone out, you won't. But it doesn't matter. You guys can create your reality. And in doing so, you can feel that way. You can push through hard things just the same. You can show up every day. You can face adversity, remain calm in times of chaos, and accomplish the same feeling. We're all fighting for something. So it's crazy because people think fighting is about violence, but it's actually about self-mastery. So I know that this doesn't come as much of a surprise to a lot of you. I have the whole social media thing going. You guys seen that I was in Dubai last month. So it's like, no shit, you're not going to fight. Why would you fight if you don't have to fight? I wanted to break this down even further. So Here's the thing about fighting. When I ask myself, what's my goal? What's my real long-term goal? My goal is to build myself into the best version of myself so that I can give that person away to the world, which is what I've been doing. I've always been creating myself, building myself, and then sharing my gifts. That's what happened with fighting. When I was learning how to train, I was doing my strength conditioning, which at first was mostly bodybuilding and MMA. But when I would go to MMA, I could feel that my bodybuilding training was not supplementing my performance. And I knew that it was actually hindering my performance because it was ruining the efficiency of my movement patterns and making me feel stiff and slow and stuff like that. So I knew that I had to do everything I could to be the best fighter as possible because my health was on the line. So I started learning about performance training. And that's why I have my whole brand around performance training for functionality and for what else? Longevity. This is one of the most important things that I always talk about, longevity. And the problem with fighting is that you are essentially trading your longevity for other people's entertainment. Now, this is a problem for me because another thing that I always talk about is investing into yourself, which is in itself prioritizing money over yourself when you invest into yourself. And of course, investing into yourself isn't just financially. In fact, that's the easy part because that's just the first step. And I feel that going to the UFC would allow me to make more money because having that credibility and that type of attention would do so much for my personal brand and my offers that I have and would make everything skyrocket. But again, that would be trading my health for money. I don't think that by fighting, I'm going to be contributing to people's lives in the most significant, meaningful way. Because what does fighting do? It inspires people. Does it help them in any way other than inspire them? That's pretty much all it does. So I feel that by focusing on my social media and focusing on my business and how I'm helping people directly, that is going to allow me to impact people even more. And another thing is, it's not like it's a matter of whether or not I'm risking my health. I am trading my health for other people's entertainment because even if I win all my fights, I'm still going to get punched in the head lots of times. Not just in the fights, but in the preparation leading up to the fight. So, again, I'm trading my brain health for everyone's entertainment. Am I doing it for my goal, which is to help people? So it just doesn't make sense. I don't need the UFC to make money. I don't need the UFC to make an impact. So I feel that it would be prioritizing money over myself and prioritizing the glorification of myself and the way that people idolize you as a UFC fighter. Prioritizing that, which is just ego, over what my conscience, my voice is telling me to do, which is to focus on my business and the way that I impact people directly. For a long time, I always felt like there was this pressure of people wanting me to go to the UFC and for it to be a shame or a waste of talent for me to not go to the UFC because I'm capable. Everyone knows that. I know that if I trained as hard as I possibly could, I could compete with those guys at the top level. But it's like, why am I trying to prove that? I'm not trying to prove that to myself or to anyone. It's about impact for me personally. I could feel that people want to live through me vicariously because people, they glorify that because of celebrity culture and the way that society is. But for me personally, that's not what matters. So the main reason why I wanted to make this video was to inspire you guys to drown out the noise of the world, because the opinions of others is always going to be there and it's going to make you feel this pressure. And it's the question that plagues everyone, which is, what are they going to think of me? That question impacts us so much. Impacts the way you move, the way you make decisions all throughout the day. little micro behaviors that you don't even notice. So I just want you guys to understand that and start to reflect on it and catch yourself whenever you see yourself conforming to societal norms, conforming to the opinions of others, and people pleasing, because that's really what it is. Guys, everything in life is a trade. So make sure that you're trading for the right things: your health, your freedom, your time, your impact, longevity, guys, not for the applause of others. So, love you guys.